Okay, this example is about a kind of cute property that integrals have. They give us an integral from -1 to 5, and then they give us the exact same integral except it's from 5 to -1. Will that matter? Will it change the answer? I mean, in both cases, if you've got the same curve and we're going from -1 to 5, and then if we go 5 to -1, we're talking about the same area, right? So maybe this won't make any difference. Let's find out. If we do this first one, we get the antiderivative of this function, and we evaluate it at 5 and -1. How does that come out? 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. So we're doing upper bound minus lower bound. So first I plug 5 into this entire thing. 1 half times 5 squared plus 5 minus, then I plug -1 into it. 1 half of -1 squared plus -1, and that's 17 and a half minus -0.5 comes out to 18. Okay, easy enough. Let's change colors and let's see how this one works. It's the same antiderivative, so we're still doing 1 half x squared plus x, but now we're going from a lower bound of 5, quote unquote, to an upper bound of -1. Not the way we'd normally set it up, but maybe it won't hurt anything. Upper bound is -1, so we get 1 half of -1 squared plus -1. From that we subtract, now we plug in the 5, half of 25 plus 5. We get -0.5 minus 17.5, and it comes out to -18. So, yeah, same value, but the way I think of it is when you scan from left to right, the integral sees these rectangle widths as positive because they are increasing. The x is going -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so it's doing positive rectangle widths and positive rectangle heights, and so it's coming up with positive areas. If you scan from right to left, now the integral sees these x's are going down. They're going from they're starting at 5 and dropping towards -1. The heights are still positive, and so now it considers these to be negative widths. It's like you've confused it by saying that -1 is the highest value and 5 is the lowest value, when really it's the other way around. It sees positive rectangle heights, negative rectangle widths, and so it spits out a negative area. So generally we avoid doing this, but if it does happen, it's not a big deal. You know that this will give you the correct numerical value. Just expect the sign to be backwards because you don't have these in the, quote, correct order. That's the only effect that it has.